Hi everyone. I wanted to, well, first, I want to say thank you to everyone for attending my course this weekend. It went awesome, and I've got a lot of really positive feedback from everyone on what they thought in regards to how that applied to the pelvis. And I know we had one person that did not come to the pelvis, so it was a little more confusing for that one person, but I'll be giving them more information. So one of the things I just talked to actually Chris and Caroline, and they brought up a good point. One of the things I'd like to clarify in regards to the torso is really what you're looking for. So there was a little bit of confusion with one of the case studies, which was more of a how do you determine if it's a shift, or how do you determine if there's a torso rotation? And remember, there's a couple things. You want to look at all four views, right? Just like we talked about in the course. So one way, let's start with torso rotation. With torso rotation, you want to look for, from the back view, we'll just start here. If you get up close to that person and you stand directly in back of them and you look down and you see, let's say you see that in a transverse plane that this left side is more forward than the right, then you know that it's either going to be a torso rotation or you're going to see that scapula more abducted on that particular side. Now, one way to confirm that would be obviously to palpate the medial border of the scapula, come over to the spinous process, and then compare that to the right side, spinous process to the medial border. If you see one medial border further away from the spinous process, then remember, that's going to be more abduction. So you're looking at approximately 2 inches, right around that point, from the spinous process to the medial border. Now, another way I should say, is to check the two side views, as I just said. So you're looking for side view. If I look at this person here, the skeleton, and I can't see that left side from a side view, but yet when he turns around this way, I could see his whole right side of his mid-back and his scapula. Well, it's pretty safe that it's going to be a rotation or an abduction of the scap. And again, to confirm that, you just check the spinous process over the medial border. So you're going to know whether it's abduction or it's going to be torso rotation. Now, for a lateral shift, this is where the plumb line comes into the equation, which is really important. You're looking at, from a frontal view, that plumb line intersecting right through the skull, right through the sternum, right down through the pubis symphysis, and then right through, or directly intersecting or dissecting in between the feet there. From the back view, it's going to be the same thing. You should always start with the plumb bob right in between their feet. Remember, that's their starting point. So that when you follow that line up, if you see a deviation off to one side, and this line is coming up and it's intersecting their ribs versus their spinous process, well, that's going to be a lateral shift or a lateral flexion. So a lateral flexion would be more of just literally flexing this way. A lateral shift would be kind of shifting this way. And remember, in the booklet, we had that one gentleman that was dressed in the black shorts, black top. He had that lateral shift, except he was off to the left side. So that was a lateral shift. Lateral flexion, again, would be just flexing over. A lateral shift is kind of over that way. So with the lateral flexion, the lateral shift, make sure it's a good idea to use the plumb line, or if you have a grid, you could use that. Or if it's so obvious, then you're going to see it regardless of using a plumb line or a grid. So that's just kind of a recap on the torso either being rotated, the scapula being abducted, or the torso being laterally shifted or laterally flexed. So Jenna actually sent me some pictures, I think it was last night or this morning, I checked it though, and she took one of her clients through a program, and hopefully she's going to post it on the site. Amazing changes just after. I'm not sure what program, I'm waiting to hear back from her in regards to what program she took her client through, but it was awesome. I mean, stuff's really powerful, so make sure you guys share your stories on the site. And if you have questions, make sure you post the questions on the site. So We'll be following up next week with some more education, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.